This is a breaking news alert.
More breaking news now. The FBI sticking it to Dianne Feinstein after the sick claim that she made about Judge Kavanaugh. According to RWN, they report that Senator Dianne Feinstein provided a document to federal authorities regarding Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh after refusing to allow even members of her own party currently serving on the Senate Judiciary Committee to so much as see the document in question. Well, it's now been revealed that the FBI does not plan to launch a criminal investigation into the matter. Take a look.
All I know is what I've read is some 2 or 3 sentences that was in some report that came out overnight, and since I don't know anything more about it than just what I read, that's all I can say at this point. All I know is what I read, and I wouldn't make any judgment of it until I had more information.
Well, Senator Dianne Feinstein put out a cryptic statement today about information she received, apparently about Judge Brett Kavanaugh. The New York Times, writing, 2 officials familiar with the matter say the incident involved possible sexual misconduct between Judge Kavanaugh and a woman when they were both in high school. The information came in a letter and included the allegation of sexual misconduct toward the letter's author. A person familiar with the letter confirmed. With this, let's bring in our panel. Charles Hurt, opinion editor for the Washington Times. Amy Walter, national editor for the Cook Political Report, and Matthew Continetti, editor-in-chief of the Washington Free Beacon. We don't know what we don't know, but she has passed this, Senator Feinstein has, to the FBI. She's had, according to sources, this letter since July, Charlie. It's coming out today. Thoughts?
I guess in a weird way we shouldn't be surprised, because I feel like Democrats have sort of trotted out every single possible strategy that they could come up with to block this nomination, and this is just sort of the strangest. And I think probably the most desperate, and I have a hard time seeing how it is effective at doing anything other than alienating independent voters that might otherwise be interested in the Democratic Party.
And we should point out,
Wow. Allegations of something he did back in high school. Really? These Democrats are so desperate. Thank God the FBI sees through the garbage and is not moving on this. Now, had this been a serious allegation, Feinstein, she wouldn't have sat on it for months. She would have brought it up during public or private interviews with Kavanaugh. This is clearly a last-ditch effort, a Hail Mary. Now, Matt Zapowski of the Washington Post quoted an FBI official, and he had this to say on Twitter. FBI official on Dianne Feinstein referral about Kavanaugh. Upon receipt of the information on the night of September 12th, we included it as part of Judge Kavanaugh's background file as per standard process. Here's an explanation of what that means. The FBI backgrounds White House employees and nominees and gives the White House a file on what they found. But the FBI doesn't decide whether the person gets a job or a nomination. The White House does that with the info in the FBI file. Now, according to Ash Show for the Daily Wire, she states that Kavanaugh did receive a background check, which was provided to the White House, and then Feinstein gave them the information that she allegedly received back in July. Well, she wouldn't even share it with her fellow Democrats until after all questions and interviews with Kavanaugh were concluded. How curious. She sat there, she sat there the whole time, knowing this information and never even brought it up in the hearings. Total fraud, total and absolute fraud. Okay, and then passed the information to the White House. Importantly, the FBI isn't doing a criminal investigation based on what Feinstein told them. The broad outline of this allegation, as I understand it, is it seems like it's state local authorities' wheelhouse. If it was a crime, and if the statute of limitations hasn't run. So he basically ends this thread by suggesting that whatever Kavanaugh was accused of may have been serious or deserves scrutiny, but that the FBI isn't investigating and just pass the info to the White House in case it wants to act, which it most likely will not. Now, in an article for the Post, reporters Seung-Min Kim and Elise Viebeck echoed Zapowski, writing that the FBI does not now plan to launch a criminal investigation of the matter, which would normally be handled by local authorities if it was within the statute of limitations. Yeah. So nice try, Dianne. Your efforts are noted, but it just looks desperate. You just look desperate. And I personally was hoping that maybe you would get investigated, because you are a true criminal in the Senate. I mean, how much money has your husband made off of those post office deals? Wasn't it like $1 billion, I think we reported on a couple years ago? Yeah, Dianne. So you're going to go and dig up something from some no-name allegation from a high school, local thing, hand it off. You sat on the information for months, didn't ask a question. Diane, we see through it. We see through it. Just go hang it up, retire, please. Or turn yourself into the feds. Comment below. We'll see you at the next report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Frank.